again, Dr. Avidati, and welcome to what I would like to call Assignment 2. In this research assignment, I will demonstrate what happened to Sony and their network in 2011 that devastated millions of players, not only in America but internationally. So let's get started. In 2011, Sony experienced the worst security breach that any console gamer would ever experience. An anonymous hacktivist group, aka Anonymous, had infiltrated Sony servers with distributed denial of service attacks, which are known as DDoS, and the attack allowed the group to run pirated games and create a homebrew channel on the console. The group eventually stopped the attack and accepted that they were only hurting the gamers, thus ended the first attack on Sony. And to explain what a DDoS is an attack that targets a single system and causes a denial of service, which is a DOS. A few weeks later, PSN was hit with another DDoS that did not allow PSN users to go online with their console. Quoted by head president of Sony at the time, "As you are no doubt aware, the current emergency outage is continuing this afternoon and all Sony online networks remain unavailable." With weeks progressing and no one knows what's going on with the attacks, me personally, I was one of them. I had a PlayStation 3 and I couldn't play that for at least a month and a half. It was scary times. I didn't know what was going on. I was in high school. But with weeks progressing, with no confirmation of who attacked the servers, then Sony just brought out bad news to millions of players. Scary times. This means that they have released that the hackers have their username, their home address, their email address, their birth date, their PSN passwords, and their real name. With this info leaked, it scared the gaming community on who was stealing their information through their console. A handful of people have been robbed of this information, and then some users have had their purchase history or their billing history and even the security answers for the security questions just up in the air as they start digging deeper in what they did for the DDoS attack. Luckily, no one's credit card information or personal information have been misused, which led Sony to make an international apology video stating that everything they're trying to do to fix the problem. So when they apologized in the video, the president in America and in Japan were just in shock that something like this could ever happen to them. Not only to them, but their gamers and the game developers and even third-party users, which are like, I'd say very indie. They just come up and throw out whatever they can for free. It was a long, hurtful, tear-jerking video. And with a month passing, Sony has finally upgraded their security measures and added higher levels of data protection and encryption. Not only that, but they upgraded their firewall and replaced their old one with the new one. So this gives a new hope for Sony. Excuse me. With Sony upgrading their stuff, they lost a couple million players, but then in return gained a few million more. Ironically, it's like you win some, you lose some, but they lost a lot and they gained a lot more. So with this coming in hand and new security measures upgrading, they gave PlayStation users 2 free games a month. And they also gave them a Plus account, which gave them even more games in that following month, which are like headlining games like Little Big Planet 3, Infamous, or I can't remember the last game, but they gave out some pretty good options. And not only did they give out PlayStation Plus, they gave their users a more safe environment for them to go back and play games, because not only was PlayStation very worried about their consoles, Microsoft was very protective of what they were going to do, because once they saw Sony get hit, they upped their security. They made sure that no one else has got hit by anything. They were just protecting themselves as much as they could before, even if they knew or didn't know they were going to get attacked. But now everything is resolved. By the time the PlayStation 3 attack happened, I want to say a year or two later, the decline of sales in PlayStation 3s were going downhill, so it didn't help them. But the PlayStation 4 came out and not only implemented the security measures that they upgraded from the PlayStation 3, but they even added more of user protection by verifying passwords, changing security questions. Instead of just having one, they'll have like, I think it was 4, and then they did the CAPTCHA thing just to make sure that you were a person, not AI, trying to hack into them. But yeah, in April of 2011, that was the horrible news that Sony has released to the world, that they've been hacked. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see my grade pretty soon.